What's up, y'all? We out here, 3 degrees buffer in the house, about to go to sleep, but wanted to give this little update first in this video on this paper. So I'm on my Theology of Mission paper, and as I mentioned yesterday, I'm looking at some pieces of my Old Testament Theology of Mission paper from a couple of years ago and incorporating pieces of it into this paper. But I had a breakthrough today. So I'm going through the paper, I'm looking at my notes and the feedback that I got from the professor on how I'm supposed to write it and what he would like to see in it. And the epiphany was that I had it backwards. I was looking at defining Old Testament covenant through the New Testament narrative, and what I needed to do was look at the New Testament narrative informed by the Old Testament covenants. It might sound like the same thing, but trust me, it's different. When it comes to the emphasis and what is getting the most shine, it is the New Testament narrative. And even though I've had that breakthrough, that's where the fun stuff of this comes in. Because still, the purpose of the paper is to have these covenants defined and sum up the history of them, the shortcomings on Israel's end, some of the things that God was expecting, especially the missional aspect. And it's tough to make that super concise to where it doesn't seem like a big chunk of the paper. And this is one thing that I'm very aware of. I don't want that to be the majority of it. So at this point now, I think I've added about 600 more words in to this paper, added a few sources. I already have plenty of sources. I got more than 20 already. And I still haven't gotten to the New Testament part. I was there yesterday, but when I had this revelation of thought this morning, I spent hours trying to rework what I already had written and trying to frame it from the New Testament side as opposed to the Old Testament side. So it's getting there. It's a slow process, but the big key, I think, is going to be emphasizing one covenant in particular a lot more, and that's the one in Isaiah 59:21-60, verses 3. And by making that kind of the centerpiece, at least in my mind, I hope it works out. By making it kind of the centerpiece, I'm gonna be able to connect the Old Testament covenants on one end and the Peter and Cornelius narrative on the other end. And hopefully that works. Thankfully, this is still supposed to be a draft, so I can get feedback on it. And I think that's the other big thing I need to remember, is that there's going to be a chance to redo this and get some good criticism and feedback on what I need to change so I can do it better to turn in the final draft. So yeah, that's where I am right now. If I look, I got my computer set up going on. Oh, hitting stuff, not trying to hit all these papers and whatnot. There's so much going on. There are, let's see, there's at least 22 tabs open in the one in the browser that's my sources. And then I still have maybe 35 different browsers open for documents and articles that could become sources that haven't yet. And I'd say about half of those 30 some are still related to Old Testament stuff. So I'm a little nervous for the New Testament part, but the other good thing is the more you research, the more you kind of see how people are writing out their dissertations and their research papers and their thesis statements, their problem statements. And so that's also informing how I'm tackling this particular paper. But yeah, I'm gonna put myself on the clock for this. The end of the week, absolute latest, is when I have to have this first draft done, because I still have the history of mission paper to do, and there's a lot of work I need to do there. But yeah, this one, it's getting there, and I'm trying to keep looking at these one or two statements that my professor responded in email after he looked at my outline, and make sure that everything that I'm putting in here is tying back to those two statements, those two questions. I think if I can do that, then this will be in a good place. So that's the goal. But yeah, this is about to be the next week. So this is just a little short update. And yeah, I spent all day on this. So that's all I have to talk about. But I'll catch you tomorrow. I'm gonna get to sleep early. Gotta wake up early. Other goals and other things going on. But we out of here, and I'll catch you next time. Peace. Oh yeah, like, subscribe, and share. You know how we roll. You know how we do. I see you. We out here. Hey, 2,000 subscribers. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. I definitely appreciate it. It's a pretty awesome milestone to hit. Working consistently and posting this stuff has been a challenge, but it's been cool to see the positive response on the other end. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in and checking it out. And big shout out to my dad, who's always watching this stuff and giving me his thoughts and critiques and responses. So I got you, man. But yeah, we out here. Peace.